Once upon a time, in a grand town ruled by a mighty but cruel king named King Sam, people lived in constant fear. The king was notorious for his rude behavior, unpredictable orders, and ruthless decisions. His subjects dreaded his wrath, but no one dared to disobey him. In the same village lived a wise and kind old man named Sulaman, who spent his days in prayer and offering namaz. Sulaman was admired for his calm demeanor even in the face of challenges. One day, the king grew envious of a cheerful villager who lived happily with his wife and 2 daughters. The sight of this man's joy annoyed the king. He thought, "How dare someone live so contentedly when I hold the power over this land?" Determined to disrupt the man's happiness, the king summoned Sulaman to his court. "Sulaman," the king commanded, "I want you to kidnap that man and bring him to me. I will show him who truly holds power in this village." Sulaman's heart sank. "Your Majesty," he said humbly, "please forgive me, but I am an old man. I cannot carry out such a cruel act. That man has done no wrong and is simply living his life." The king's eyes narrowed. "You dare to defy me? If you disobey, you will face exile." Fearful but unwilling to hurt an innocent man, Sulaman reluctantly agreed. "I cannot destroy the happiness of an innocent family." The king's anger flared. "You dare defy my orders? Leave this village at once. You will take nothing with you, not a coin, not a crumb of food. Go with empty hands and never return." With a heavy heart, Sulaman obeyed. The king's guards escorted him to the village's edge and left him alone. Hungry and exhausted, Sulaman sat by the roadside, praying to God for guidance. The next morning, a kind merchant named Kamil passed by and noticed Sulaman. "Old man," the merchant said, "why are you sitting here alone? What has happened to you?" Sulaman explained his story. Feeling pity, Kamil invited him home. "I don't have much," the merchant said, "but you are welcome to share what little we have." At first, Kamil's wife was hesitant about taking in a stranger, but Sulaman's gentle demeanor and wisdom soon won her over. Sulaman began helping Kamil with his business, offering advice and praying for his success. Over time, the merchant's trade flourished, factories were built, and Kamil became one of the wealthiest men in the region. One day, the king ordered a special suit from Kamil. Nervous about such an important task, Kamil asked Sulaman for help. Sulaman worked diligently, ensuring the suit was perfect, and delivered it to the king. The king was thrilled. "This is the finest suit I have ever seen," he exclaimed and summoned the merchant to reward him. Kamil humbly said, "Your Majesty, all the credit goes to my mentor, Sulaman. Without his wisdom and guidance, I would have nothing." Curious and impressed, the king asked to meet Sulaman, but Sulaman declined the invitation. The king then gifted them a grand home, a factory. One day, Sulaman suggested, "Let us invite the king to dinner. It is time we show him gratitude and remind him of God's plans." The king accepted the invitation. At the dinner table, he recognized Sulaman and was shocked. "You!" the king exclaimed. "Aren't you the old man I exiled with nothing?" Sulaman smiled gently. "Yes, Your Majesty. When you sent me away, I trusted in God's plan. What you intended as my punishment became my blessing. God's plans are always greater than ours, and His wisdom is beyond our understanding. Through faith and patience, I was guided to this moment." The king was deeply moved by Sulaman's words. For the first time, he saw how cruel and unjust he had been. Overcome with guilt, he bowed his head and said, "Sulaman, I have wronged you and so many others. I see now that my power means nothing without kindness and fairness. Please forgive me." The king returned Sulaman to the village with great honor, giving him a beautiful house and recognizing him as a man of wisdom. From this day forward, the king declared, "I will seek your guidance to rule wisely and justly." The villagers rejoiced, praising Sulaman for softening the king's heart. With Sulaman's advice, King Sam became a kind and fair ruler, loved by his people. He prayed for forgiveness and worked tirelessly to improve the lives of his subjects. Under Sulaman's guidance, the village thrived in peace and prosperity. The people lived happily, knowing their king was now a ruler of compassion and justice. As for Sulaman, he continued his prayers, grateful for the journey that had brought him and the village closer to God's mercy and wisdom. Moral of the story: trust in God's plan, as hardships can lead to unexpected blessings. Kindness and wisdom have the power to transform hearts and inspire change. True leadership comes from fairness and humility, not fear. Forgiveness and compassion create harmony and lasting peace.